You thought every time they came back, it meant something had changed. That's what made the pattern so hard to see, because they never stayed gone. They'd disappear, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks, then reappear just when you were starting to get used to the silence. And every time they came back, you treated it like evidence. Evidence that they cared. Evidence that they missed you. Evidence that whatever happened before was finally behind you. So you gave them the benefit of the doubt. Again. You told yourself they were confused, overwhelmed, afraid, trying to figure things out. You looked for explanations because explanations felt easier than accepting what the pattern was showing you. Most people think the problem is the disappearing. It isn't. The disappearing isn't what keeps you attached. The return does. Because every return gives you a reason to question what you already know. And after enough cycles, something starts to change. You stop focusing on what they're saying and start noticing what keeps happening. The explanations change. The pattern doesn't. And after a while, you can almost predict it. Not because you understand them, because you've seen it before. That's when something shifts. Once you can predict the next move, it stops feeling like confusion. It starts feeling like a pattern. And patterns create a different question. Not, why is this happening? But, why does it keep happening the same way? Because the pattern was never hiding. You were just looking somewhere else. At the explanations. At the promises. At the exceptions. But eventually, the outcome becomes impossible to ignore. Not because you stop caring. Because you stop negotiating with what you're seeing. At some point, it stops looking like a series of separate events and starts looking like a cycle. That's what people often describe as clarity. Not because new information appeared, because the old information finally started carrying more weight than the hope. The breakthrough isn't figuring out why they left. It's recognizing the pattern you're standing inside. Because once you stop asking why they're confused, you start asking, what is this pattern teaching me? And that's usually where clarity begins. If there's a conversation, message thread, or relationship dynamic you're struggling to make sense of, run it through GreyRockAI. Sometimes the pattern is easier to see when you're not standing inside it.